जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदा नंदन व्रज जनरंजना यशोदा नंदन व्रज जनरंजना यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदा नंदन व्रज जनरंजना यशोदा नंदन व्रज जनरंजना यमुना तीरा वनचारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमती जयपताकस्वामिनिति नामने। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमती भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशधारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Mukham karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yatkrupatamaham vande Shri Gurum Tinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hari Om Tat Sat. So, by the grace of Guru Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Krishna himself, who can make the lame climb mountains and the mute to speak, hopefully he will also give me the words to share a little of what I understand of the philosophy with you all. The reason why we always chant the pranam mantras or the glorification prayers of the spiritual masters before we start is similar to, you know, when those people get up on the Emmys and they say, I want to acknowledge my mom, my dad, God, my producer, like this. So we too, to acknowledge the gift that we have been given by our spiritual masters and Srila Prabhupada, we acknowledge them. So this is why it is considered etiquette, and it's a way to show our gratitude for what they have given us, because this is a gift that cannot be measured, right? So couple things. If I either talk too slow, no, I talk too fast, so talk too low or too fast, please just raise a hand, I'll slow down. I get a tendency of getting excited and I start talking really, really fast, and then people are like, what you say? So I do not mind if you raise your hand and say, Mataji, I didn't hear what you said. Can you repeat it? I do not mind, okay? So please feel free. And I'd like to say welcome and welcome home, because this is our home in the spiritual world, from the spiritual world, an embassy. So the verse I picked today is a verse from the Srimad, from the Bhagavad Gita. It's 7:14, and it's the chapter titled Knowledge of the Absolute. And the verse goes like this. Daiviheshu gunamayi mama maya durutyaya mameva ye prapadyante mayametam tarantite. Translation. This divine energy of mine, consisting of the three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome, but those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. So, my question or my topic for today is, what is the purpose and what is the plan behind this material world? Why is it here? Why are we here? Why does Krishna create it? So in this verse, he says that it's a divine nature. So why is it divine? Maya is divine. So Srila Prabhupada explains in the purport here that he says that it is defined as divine because it is connected to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now, how is it connected? So actually in the Brahma Samhita, there is a verse that speaks specifically about what this Maya is. So this verse from the Brahma Samhita goes like this. Srushti sthiti pralaya sadhuna sakti reka chaye vayasya bhavanani vivarti durga ichchani rupmapi yasya chacheshtatesha govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. The external potency, Maya, who is the nature of the shadow of the Chit potency, is worshipped by people as Durga, the creating, preserving, and destroying agency of this mundane world. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, in accordance with whose will Durga conducts herself. So the Chit potency is the Yogamaya potency of the Lord, and Durga is the shadow of her potency, her responsibility. Now she according to the will of Govinda, she does her duty. So the question is, what is Durga's service? Why is she here? So Durga actually has two meanings. It actually means prison house. And she is actually the overseer of this material world. She has a thankless task because she is given the responsibility of confining the jivatma, or the conditioned living entity who we are, in this material world. And through this cycle of karma is her process of transforming and reforming us. Now, as long as we are fighting Krishna and not desiring to be with him, then she is the prison guard, or she is the ruler of the prison. Yet, what Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhu says in here, he says, when luckily the forgetfulness of Govinda on the part of the imprisoned jivas is remarked by them by coming in contact with self-realized souls, and their natural aptitude, our natural aptitude for the loving service of Krishna is aroused, Durga herself becomes the agency of their deliverance by the will of Govinda. That is the key. That is the key, that this deluding potency becomes our helping potency. When we understand that she is working in accordance with the role of Krishna, but we need to desire to get out of here. So, Radhana Swami gives an interesting example. This is a prison house that has no walls and has no guards. And we don't want to leave. We desire to stay in here because we want to be God, and we want to do what we want to do, and we want to have our way, and we want to enjoy. And so Krishna says, so be it. And so he gives us this world in which we can play. And it's in our best interest to decide. Once we have decided, Krishna, I don't think I want this, I want something else, then she becomes our assistant. And it's interesting that in the Brihad Bhagavatamrita, Gopakumara, a devotee of Krishna, is actually given the Gopala mantra by Kamakya Devi, or Kamakshi, who is in a form of Durga Devi. She actually gives him the mantra, the Gopal mantra, that he chants, that gets him to Goloka Vrindavan. So, another example. So, now the question is, why does Krishna instruct Durga to do this? Because we asked. We said, we want to be in charge, we want to take over, we want to do what we want to do, please give us. So Gauranga Darshan Prabhu gives a wonderful example that he said from Srila Prabhupada, and he says, this is similar to a mother who cooks a wonderful meal. She has a great meal, cooking and everything, and the kids said, no, we don't want to eat. We want to cook our own food. We want to do our own thing. So she says, okay, fine. So she gives them a toy kitchen set. She gives them toy vegetables. She gives them, everything, fake fire, whatever, for them to cook. So the kids all get together and they start playing, and they're all cooking, and I'm making this. Nothing there is real. Mom's got a great meal sitting on the table over there. She's waiting for you. Krishna's waiting for you. She's got a meal cooking there, and we're just like, no, I won't. And meanwhile, we're with our brothers and sisters, and we're fighting over, I've got the better meal. I'm cooking something better. Mine's better than yours. Similar to how we fight here in the material world. My house is better than yours. My kids are better than yours. My country is greater than yours. But this is all just make-believe, actually. This is not our real place. Just as that children's play set is not really real. It's real in a sense that it's there, but there's nothing that you can actually taste and enjoy. So this is what this material world is like. It's nothing that is really going to satisfy our true hunger, which is that love we have with Krishna. That innate feeling within us that will connect us to God. That is not being fed by this make-believe kitchen. So, what does the mother do? So first of all, she gives them advice. No, come. Just listen to me. Just come and I'll take, just listen to what I say. Similarly, Krishna gives us the Shastras. He gives us the Vedas. They tell us what to do. Okay, there's a process. But we don't want to do that. No. So then she sends the maidservant. Go call them. Go call the kids. Tell them to come. The meal is ready. Similarly, Krishna sends the acharyas. And he says, here are the acharyas for you to follow. But no, we don't want to do that. No, we don't want to do that. We don't want to choose that. Finally, Krishna comes herself. Krishna comes himself, the mother comes herself, and says, please come, please come. Some of us will come. Many of us won't. What ultimately makes us come is frustration. Finally, we get so hungry. Finally, we get so dejected. Finally, the kid realizes, this is not satisfying my hunger. I don't like these plastic foods. I don't like this fake stuff. This is not satisfying me at all. And with that frustration, due to that frustration, then we say, Adato de Brahma Jignasa, we inquire. We try to find what is it that's going to satisfy me? What am I looking for? Where can I find it? So you know how they say, you're stuck up a creek without a paddle? So Krishna has left us in this samsara sagaram, this ocean of material world. But he has not left us up there without a paddle, nor without a compass, and nor without a captain. Okay, so we have a compass, we have the Vedas, we have the paddle, which are the devotees who can help us, and we have a captain who is Srila Prabhupada, our guru, who can guide us. If we choose to take them, again, that free will is there. Why doesn't Krishna just make us do it? Why do you think? I'm asking you. Somebody give him a sign. Why doesn't he just make us choose him? Yes, Prabhu.
Because our relationship is love, and love is not forced.
Exactly. It has to be our choice. Because if it's forced, is it love? It's not love, it's forced, right? So we need to choose that. So he gives us everything. But, I had a very, very interesting experience with this, which I hope will explain how this analogy will kind of give us a little bit of an idea how the Vedas, how those things, different things help us. So recently, my husband and I went to France to visit some temples and stuff like that. There's some beautiful temples there, by the way, near Mayapur in France and Radhadesh in Belgium. Just giving you a heads up there. But how many of you been on the metro there? Have anybody been on? It is so confusing. Unbelievable. There's like the tram, and then there's the train, and then there's the metro, and then there's the bus, and there's the RER, and the M, and the F, and it's just unbelievable. Okay, so we're there. Never been there. Well, we were there maybe a long time ago, once after we got married, but don't know anything about anything, right? So how do you get where you want to go? So somebody told us there's this app. It's called the Bonjour app. And basically what it does is you put in your destination, and it gives you all the different routes to get to that place where you want to go, with the time involved and the money, the cost it involves. So similarly, the Vedas are so vast. There's so much in there. There's so many processes that are given to you. But all those processes have a different cost as far as the time that's you're getting there, the time it takes you to get there, and also the cost as far as what you need to give as far as your effort and your sacrifice and stuff like this. You choose. Just as in that app, you can choose which way you want to go. So do you want the fast route, or do you want to take the scenic route? So you can take any way you want. The Vedas give you that opportunity. Krishna gives you that opportunity. But it's similar to when you're going on the train, and you're going along, and on the street, in the subway, they've got on the metro, they've got the signs, right, where the name of the station is. Well, underneath there, they'll have like the tourist attraction or whatever is there, like the Champs-Élysées is at this exit, or the Notre Dame is at this exit. Well, if you suddenly let's say you're heading toward, I don't know, the Louvre or something, or the museum somewhere to go. And then you say, oh, it says a Notre Dame. Actually, I want to see that. Let me get off here. Let me go see that first, and I'll get back on. Well, you can get off there, and you can get back on, but your appointment at the Louvre is going to be gone, right? So on this process of taking these different paths, you could get waylaid, where many of these paths will give you Jnana Yoga path, or this Dhyana Yoga path, meditation path. You get so many siddhis, or so many powers, which are wonderful. Anima Manima says this power that you can create things out of thin air. You can read people's minds. You can appear suddenly in a different place. You can achieve these different kinds of siddhis or powers, but that's still in the material world, and that's still temporary, and you still have to suffer. You're not getting out, and there you've just kind of took a detour. So the Vedas are there, just as the app is there, and you choose what price in time and effort you are willing to pay to get where you want to go. Now, the other thing about this is, interestingly enough, you need to know where you want to go. Where you need to go, you need to know what the destination is. Well, I have an experience of that too this trip. I'm telling you, this trip had so many experiences. So I wanted to go see Monet's garden. Okay, so I made a reservation to meet this bus at a certain place to go and get on the bus and go see the garden. I'm a garden freak. I love flowers and etc. So anyway, first day there, I don't know anything except this person told me there's this app. So we got this app on there. Get on the train and the tram. It says it's going to take us an hour and a half to get there. So we get up 2 hours early, like 6 o'clock in the morning. So we get there in time. We're getting lost, missing so many things. I thought, we still have time. We still have time. And I'm calling them and telling them, no, I'm lost. I'm going to get there. Wait for us, please, please. Okay. Well, we get there, and they're gone, and I come home, and I'm like, oh, well, I guess it was just not meant to be, and, thinking like this. And then later on, I'm looking at my phone and looking up the app, and I'm like, I told my husband, you know what? We headed to the wrong place. I said, I put it in the app. I said, I put the address in the app, but somehow the app did a glitch and it gave me a different address which had part of the name of the street I wanted to be on. So I thought I was going in the right direction, but after a day of going through and looking at the maps and all things, I realized that I had gone to a completely wrong destination, that the place I wanted to go was only a half an hour away. I would have gotten there if I had known what to look for. I didn't know. So we may not know what to look for in that vast amount of Vedas. And for that, Krishna has sent the spiritual master. He has sent the acharyas. He has sent us the acharyas in order to help us, guide us. And again, we had another experience. So we're heading to Belgium, Radhadesh. We get on the train, stop in Liège, which is, I guess, right there on the border, the big, small station to get to Radhadesh. And we're trying to figure out, okay, where do we buy our ticket? We couldn't buy a ticket at the station. We had to go to the place we need to get the ticket there and then go. Where do we buy the ticket? Who do we talk to? We didn't know anything. My husband speaks French, so he can speak with them, but that doesn't really, who do you ask, right? So we're talking to somebody, and then finally, we talking to somebody, and he's explaining to us he's a teacher, this, that, and so what we're telling him, we need to go to this place. Where do we buy our ticket? Many times during our quest for the route to our destination, we asked many people about different things. How do you get here? And they all told us different things. Oh, you go this way, you take a right there, there should be a bus station there. So everybody's told us many things. And we've eventually gotten there. So we might have many Siksha gurus or many people who will guide us on that path. But this particular person, what he did is said, come with me. He took me and my husband, took us down to the train. We were at the top of the train station. He goes, you go down these stairs. We go down. He went to the ticket booth. It's an automated ticket booth. He says, this is what you pick. This is how much you pay. Made sure we did it. Made sure we got our ticket. Gave us, you got your ticket. He said, we got our ticket. He said, this is where you just stand right here. The train is coming. Don't go anywhere. You get on it right here. That is what Srila Prabhupada has given for us. That is what the spiritual master does. He doesn't just say, go that way. He says, come with me. Come with me and I will take you there. That is how much love and compassion not only Srila Prabhupada, our Guru, but Krishna has for us. That is the reason for this whole material world. That is the reason for the Guru. That is the reason for Srila Prabhupada. And that is the reason for the Vedic scriptures and the Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita in particular. And that's why Srila Prabhupada has given us that gift that actually never stops giving. Because I don't know how many times I've read this Bhagavad Gita. I've read it. That doesn't mean I've understood it, nor that it's penetrated. I've read it because it was told by my dad, you should read it. It was explained by my spiritual master, you should read it. But interestingly enough, we can read it, but we really have to have that real desire to understand it. Because this is not just a book. This is actually Krishna himself. The Srimad Bhagavatam is actually Krishna himself and his devotees. And he reveals himself to us as we desire fervently, with so much anxiety and desire and greed or longing. I want to understand you, Krishna. I want to understand the path. Please, please help me. And when you do that, he opens up the world for you. And I'm speaking from experience. In one trip, so many experiences that I had that I was thinking, Krishna, he literally fed me the class. He literally fed me the class as I was going through this, and I was going, oh my God, Krishna, okay, stop, you know. It was so, in a way, exciting, because you could understand the philosophy, because you were in the material world experiencing it. Okay, so, as we go on, so he gives this final, and then Krishna comes. And actually, let me see if I got everything I wanted to say, so many places. I did this. Okay. The other thing. So, couple of things. A special gift that we have in this particular age, Kali Yuga, is Krishna in many other yugas comes down as an incarnation, or he himself, right? But in this Kali Yuga, he came down as the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That is the special gift that we have been given. Because see, the mantra goes with us everywhere. It's everywhere. It's not like, it's just, you can take it with you everywhere. It's in your mind. You can chant it wherever you are. If you chant it with purely, then that's Krishna with you. And Krishna and Srila Prabhupada has given us the Srimad Bhagavatam, which helps us realize that Krishna is real and this relationship with him is real. And as we read the Bhagavatam, and Srila Prabhupada has instructed us to start from the first canto and slowly progress as we get to the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. The first canto represents the Krishna's feet, and as we go up, slowly. Similarly, when we see the deities, it is instructed that we should start at his lotus feet and slowly work our way up to his lotus face. And the reason why this is done is, and I have a wonderful analogy that one of my close friends gave me. And she was explaining, let's say you're a janitor in a huge company, okay, and like the CEO's company is, way up on the top somewhere. And, he's the CEO, and you're just, he's just a great guy and everything. And he happens to come down. And he says to you, how are you doing? How's it going? How's, company treating you? How's life? Do you like working here? And this janitor's thinking, wow, this is the CEO of this company, and he's actually coming down here to talk to me and to ask me how I feel. And it's only when we understand that he is such a great person, a great man, yet he's come down to actually give me the time of day, that once we understand Krishna's greatness, which is what is given in the first cantos of the Srimad Bhagavatam, it talks about his universal form, it talks about his grandeur, it talks about his power. And then when you come to the 10th canto, it talks about his sweetness. And then when you see his sweetness, you think, wow, somebody so opulent, somebody with all the 6 opulence, right? Fame, can somebody help me? Fame, knowledge, beauty, wealth, strength, renunciation, right? Somebody who has all this, who's coming down and who wants me to be his friend, because that's what Krishna wants. He wants us back. He wants us to be there with him. He wants me. He wants you. He wants you, and he wants you, and he wants you. And just because I'm there, it's not going to satisfy him. Your place is your place. My place is my place. He has, his heart is only, it'll never get full. He wants all of us there. And so with his greatness, when he comes down, we think, wow. And we understand he is so sweet. He is so loving. And I want to be there. Many times people say, how come we, I want devotional service. I want to pick this path, but why is it so difficult? Why is there so many difficulties that come in my path? And I want to say this. And I kind of relate this to a marriage, in the sense that, when you first get married, the honeymoon stage, everything's hunky-dory. I don't know how many of you are you married or have been married or whatever. You have the honeymoon stage. Everything's hunky-dory. He's great, she's great. Oh, this is just all fun and games. This is great, right? No problems. This is great. We're still in the material world. And then what happens? Problems start. Financial problems start. Ego problems start. But you have made a commitment to each other. You've made a commitment to each other, and you have decided, I'm sticking through this thick or thin. And what happens, and I say this with experience, I've been married for many years, that what happens is, when the love has matured to such a point that there is so much faith and so much trust in the partner, then there is no fear. There is no more fear, because he's got my back. She's got my back. Whatever happens, thick or thin, good or bad, we're in it for the long haul, and we're going to get through it together. We know what the end result is. And interestingly enough, in the marriage, dharma, artha, kama, moksha, the 4 pillars of the married life, we're supposed to walk hand in hand in dharma, which is in righteousness, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Artha, in earning our livelihood. So this is what is expected. Kama, enjoying life. But ultimately moksha, and the pancha purushartham, which is above that, is pure love for God. So that is what marriage is about. That's what the ultimate goal of marriage is, to help each other on a devotional path, to get to that panchama purushartha, which is love for Krishna. Similarly, if we just hold on to Krishna's feet, hold on to this relationship that we've developed with Krishna through thick or thin, and let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, devotees, Vaishnavas, I've been through them all. Have 4 children, 3 grandchildren, and yes, I know what it's like. It's tough out there, and it's scary out there. But my request to you is just hold on to his lotus feet. Just hold on to that relationship. Help each other on that path. Srila Prabhupada has given us so many things. He's given us the Srimad Bhagavatam in the Vedic scriptures. He's given us the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra, and he has given us the temple. Srila Prabhupada calls this the spiritual embassies in the material world. And that's why I say welcome home. Because this is home. This is our safe place. This is our sacred spot. So I invite you to come here. Find your place at the lotus feet of Shri Shri Radha Giridhari. This reminds me of this one thought that I have a lot of times about roller coasters. Now, my mother-in-law loves roller coasters. Me, I can take them or leave them. I'm not really that big of a fan. She's like, no, Penny, come with me, please, please, please. So I'm like, okay, fine, I'll go with you. So we sit on the roller coaster. She's like, yay, whoa. And I'm sitting here. I'm holding on to that bar. I close my eyes. I relax my whole body. And I'm like, I know it's going to go up and down and round and around, but I know there's an end. I'm just going to chant Hare Krishna, hold on to this, and just relax. So I relax my whole body. I hold on tight, but I'm relaxing my whole body. I'm just going with the whatever, the cart. I'm just going with the cart. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. If I die on this, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, I mean, And what happens at the end, of course I get to the end, no whiplash, no tension in my neck, no tension in my body. I'm just there. And so, again, I invite you, hold on to his lotus feet. Hold on to Srila Prabhupada. Hold on to the bhakti. Even if it's just a glimmer, it's a spark that counts. We are all that divine spark. What is it? Flame the spark? Fan the spark. Thank you, Dhanabari. Fan the spark. Fan that spark. How do you fan that spark? Come here. Get connected. Come to the meetings. Meet a devotee. Talk to somebody. Ask questions. Read the books. Chant Hare Krishna. That's all it takes. Make a friend. It's like, and I don't mean to minimize sobriety or anything like that. There's no way trying to do that. But it's like we are addicted to this material world. And just like we need to call a sponsor when we're walking on the edge and we're like, man, I want to turn that TV on. That's that great you're at work and people are saying, oh, you got to see that great show. It's got, I don't know, so-and-so in it and it's this and that. And you're like, oh, should I watch it? Should I watch it? What you do, pick up that phone and say, hey, how you doing? Whoever your devotee friend is. Yeah, I was just thinking about you. And then next thing you know, you don't have that desire. So just like that, call a friend, pick up that phone. Be a friend. That is what the 6 exchanges, right? Exchanging gifts, receiving gifts. Exchanging confidences, receiving confidences. Giving prasadam, receiving prasadam. These are the 6 exchanges. I mean, there's so much. I'm going to get so distracted. I keep going off on a tangent. I've got to stay. I have a tendency of going, that way, and I'm trying to stay in the past. So I hope I'm not confusing too many of you. But I just get so excited when I start talking about when I realize all these different things that Srila Prabhupada has given us. But as I say, hold on. Hold on and be sure, because Krishna is there for you and he will send somebody. He always sends somebody. Just like when I was doing this verse, I was meditating on this verse and I was just thinking about it. And as I was in one of my classes of studying the Srimad Bhagavatam, the 9th canto, where it actually talks about Krishna's compassion. And it talks about everything that I've just told you, I've gotten from the Bhagavad Gita, the Brahma Samhita, and the Srimad Bhagavatam. And all the experiences are my own, as I've explained to you. But I was thinking about this verse, and I was just thinking, wow. This is why Krishna comes. It's his compassion. It's his love. He does it out of love for us. I mean, here it's written in black and white. And so I was thinking about this verse. And so I'm in the deity kitchen. I'm just washing the plates. And Brajendra Kumar comes in. And I said, Prabhu, have you had prasadam? And because I had cooked that day. So I said, I'll give you prasadam. So I was giving him prasadam. He said, oh, yeah. Because he was taking that morning's prasadam. I said, no, I have fresh prasadam. Come take. But prasadam is prasadam. So everything's good. But I'm like, you have some prasadam. So he said, oh, thank you. He said, oh, devotees are so kind. And I said, actually, no, Krishna's so kind. And then he says, yeah, and you know what? It reminds me of that verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam, and I think it's at the end of the 11th canto. And he starts talking about this verse. And I'm like, no, it's at the end of the 9th canto. I know exactly the verse you're talking about. And then I'm talking to him about it. And then he goes, oh my God, I just got goosebumps. And I said, I know, I did too. And I'm like, so this is like, I thought, this is part of that class. I said, this is for me, it was Krishna handing me on a silver platter. This is what I want you to explain to people. This is what I want you to give them. And so that is what I'm trying to express in my bumbling way, in my, as I say, convoluted way maybe. I hope it's understandable. But ultimately, the message I want to give you is, Krishna is there. The devotees are here. This temple is for you. Please come. Please join us and welcome home. Thank you. Hare Krishna. I hope I took. Please, if there are any questions, any comments. Yes, Phanesvari. Yeah. Can. And meanwhile, I'll make sure I got everything I wanted to talk about. Yes, Phanesvari.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Very nice class, Mataji. Excellent class. I have two questions. You mentioned about hold on to Krishna's lotus feet, and you talked about books. So first question is, how do we get books if some people are new? Where is it available? And what books would you recommend? You said Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, and for new devotee or new people, where can they get the books? And then second question I have is, you said hold on to Krishna's lotus feet. So people who are new to this movement, how do they hold on? What is the process? How do they start the process? And what can
very nice question. Thank you, Phanesvari.
And if you can, 3 nights, they have Gita classes, and the classes you can talk about that they give here.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, and we do. So for those who are new, is anybody here new for the first time? Okay, well, welcome and welcome home. So I would say start by chanting. Just chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Talk to somebody. Anybody wants to come up to me and ask questions, please feel free. You don't have to do it now on the spot. Private is fine. Ask any of the devotees. Come to any of the meetings you would like. 3 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We have Bhagavad Gita class here given by Dravida Prabhu. Thursday we have Krishna Lounge, which is another program, open meeting. We also have a Vaishnavi Sangha. We meet Saturday evenings on Zoom. We read the Bhagavatam together, so if you are interested, please just hit me up. The books are available anywhere in our bookstore right here. Phanesvari is a book distributor. We also have the devotees back there. Where is... Any of the brahmacharis back there can hit you up with books. Just ask. The other question, how do we, and that's it. So I would say starting with Bhagavad Gita. I mean, coming to a Bhagavad Gita class is good. It's a beginning. Talking to devotees. For me, it's a very personal thing, meeting people and talking to people and making connections is really something that will help us get connected, Like I said, this is the embassy, spiritual embassy. Okay? There's one more thing I wanted to say, but I don't remember now, so we'll see.
Thank you so much. Very nice answer. And also, there is seva available if anybody wants to do any service, that they have it
yes.
here anytime they want to volunteer.
Yes, any service. Please, and when we say service, I don't know if you guys know. I had, like I said, I have kids and grandkids. What makes children feel a part of a family? Can somebody tell me? What makes children feel like they're part of a family? Like I'm a contributing member too. What makes them feel that way? What do you think? Any guesses? I don't have to have a right answer. Guess. Yes.
Helping out with the family.
Helping out with the family. So my kids were given chores. Okay. So they all had chores, and at the time, people think, oh my God, I can't believe you make your kids do chores. Well, number one, I had a large family, and there's no way that I was going to do everything. I couldn't even if I wanted to. But, I started when they were really young, and they thought it was fun and games, and it was because it taught them a lot of things. In the Montessori class, they teach you how to sort. Well, I said, why don't you just empty the dishwasher and put the forks with the forks, the spoons with the spoons? doing Montessori training and emptying the dishwasher and engaging my kids at the same time. So, just like that, and they felt like they were contributing. And then of course, 5 years later, 10 years later, the psychologists come and say, oh, it's now the big thing that you should let kids do chores. You shouldn't say, no, don't let them do it. They're too young, they'll hurt themselves. You should have them do it because now they feel a part of the family. And I'm like, oh, okay, thanks. 5 years later, okay, thank God I figured that out before. But see, just like that. So in that same way, we invite you to come, and if you would like to do any kind of service, we will engage you. We will engage you. Simple things, maybe might be washing some things, maybe might be cleaning some floors, maybe might be packing some things, anything that if you have any time. Phanesvari, raise your hand. She's the one to go to. She's always looking for people to help. So please do take that opportunity. Another question we had over here. Yes. Hi. Can you tell me your name just so?
Yes.
I know Jessie, so.
My voice is really loud.
But see, I think the thing is they want people to be able to hear it if they're online.
Thank you.
So
Okay,
that's
great.
why.
Okay, Hare Krishna.
And your name?
Madhupriya.
Madhupriya. Thank you, Madhupriya.
So my question is, like, you talked about what we're meant to do here in the material world, but I guess my question is, why did it all exist to be? Like, what's the point of it all? Like, why didn't we just stay with Krishna, and why did it all?
Because we desired.
exist?
Because we have that little bit of free will. So only when we have free will can we freely express love. So we have to have that free will. So that's why with that free will we got a little curious. In the Nectar of Instruction, Srila Prabhupada talks about different types of intelligences. Like he says, like certain people learn, if you tell somebody, don't do that, you're going to get in trouble, they won't do it, right? Like you tell, if you steal, you're going to get hurt, you're going to get caught, don't do it. So he's like, I don't want to go to jail, so he doesn't. Okay. Another person, you tell him don't do it, yet for some reason he can't control himself and he does it, and he gets caught. Oh, so then somebody sees him and says, oh my gosh, see, I saw him. So one person learns by somebody telling him, another person sees somebody get caught, and he understands. And then there's a third person who does it, and he just doesn't learn by somebody telling him, doesn't learn by seeing somebody. He has to do it himself and learn the hard way. Well, we just happen to be the ones that pick the hard way. So just like I said, like my kids, one of my kids, won't say who, would always want to figure it out his/herself. I'm not going to give it away who it is. And he jumping on the trampoline right underneath the chandelier. The dining table, the chandelier's kind of low, right? So he's got this little trampoline right underneath that chandelier where if he jumps a little bit high, boom, right in there. I was like, don't do that, you're going to get hit in the head. And my brother says to me, Pani, let him learn. Don't you know he wants to learn himself? And as this child became an adult, they said to me, Amma, I just need to learn it on my own. I have to experience it myself. And I'm like, oh, Krishna, okay. And Krishna's probably thinking the same thing. Oh, Krishna, or oh, Radha, he wants to learn it himself. What can I do, right? Maybe that's what he's doing, I don't know, but probably. That's it. We chose it. We decided the hard way, but that's okay. No loss. And that's what Srila Prabhupada said. Oh, this is the important thing I wanted to say. See how Srila Prabhupada gives me that? So Srila Prabhupada says, the fact, and he was specifically talking about this verse, and he was giving examples. He gave 2 examples. He was saying that the policeman is there, and as long as you are obeying the rules and obeying the law, the policeman's not dangerous. I mean, he's your friend. Similarly, Durga, the material world, the Maya potency, can be your friend if you're following the rules and understanding that devotion to Krishna is what we're aiming for, not enjoyment in this material world. So she's like the policeman that will help you. You don't, and you want to break all the rules and do all those kind of things, and you're going to have to suffer the consequences. So that's this. The other thing he said, which really, really touched my heart, he was talking about his disciples there, and he said, the fact that these disciples are all here is that they have made some progress in their past life that has brought them to this stage right now. So you all who are here right now are here because of two reasons. Either you have made your way here through many lifetimes, struggling, you finally come to this embassy, finally made it to home base, just got a hop, skip, and a jump, we're going to get there. Or by ajnata sukriti, by the mercy of a pure devotee. How many of you are here because you got a book? The mercy of a pure devotee. This is what I say. That is why we go out on book distribution. That is why distribution. God, why are you guys always on the street giving out these books? I mean, I'm sure they've gotten them. I'm sure everybody's gotten them. Why do you keep going? This is why we do it. Because there are so, believe it or not, there are so many people out there that still don't know Hare Krishna. And I'm like, what? We've been around for generations. We've been around for what? 50 years? Is it 50 years? Right? Half a century? And you don't know Hare Krishna? Oh my gosh. We're falling down on our job here, guys. We need to send them more books out. So you see, either because of the book, how many lives, you talk to Vijay Prabhu, or you talk to any of these book distributors, how many lives have been saved by getting a book? You ask somebody, they'll tell you stories. They will tell you stories about how many lives have been saved. One happened here in San Diego itself. Some guy was in his car going to commit suicide, had the tube with the gas stuck to the exhaust, and the tube coming into his car, a window closed, wanted to gas himself. Somebody came by with the book, knocked on his window. He's like, get away from me, get away from me. So the guy stuck it on his windshield. And so this guy got curious. He figured, let me see what the book is. Opens up the window shield, takes the book, and he's alive. That's all I need to say. So there are so many stories like that. So many stories. So the fact that you're here today is you either had the mercy of a pure devotee or his assistant by our brahmacharis and local book distributors or somebody else, or because you have made it this far by your own effort and steam. So, again, don't let go. Stay connected. Please ask questions. And it is all right to have doubts. It is important to have doubts. We don't want blind faith. Srila Prabhupada wanted us to clear our doubts. That's why we're here, and that's why the books are here. I may not know I don't know all the answers. I can tell you quite frankly. I know maybe 2% of the answers. Maybe if I'm lucky. If I close my eyes really hard and say, Krishna, Krishna, help me, maybe he'll bless me with that 2%. But you know what? I'll find out, or we find out together. We go searching in the books. Everything's online. Man, I love the internet when everything's online. Okay, so anyway, I think I've covered everything I wanted to cover. Anybody else have any comments or questions? Yes, Vaikuntha Prabhu.
Thanks so much for a very inspiring and very welcoming presentation to all of us. And I'm just wondering, because you're also, and Mother Danavari also kind of bringing it down to a very practical level. You were mentioning, I think, Trivedi Prabhu gives Bhagavad Gita class Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then you said they have the Thursday night in the Krishna Lounge, Saturday night and Sunday night here in the temple room.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering, what about Friday night? Would you Oh, in South Bay?
Oh,
they have
yeah, I'm
something?
so sorry, I forgot. Yeah, Friday night, we actually have it in my neck of the neighborhood. That's another thing. Can I share something really quick with you guys? I gotta just share this with you. I know, I keep talking, I'm so bad. But, so I kept thinking, they have all these programs up here, and I live in Chula Vista, way South Bay, and it's really hard for me to get up here. And I was thinking, oh, Krishna, when will you come? When will I have it? So, 3 weeks ago, maybe about 4 weeks ago, they opened up Krishna Lounge South Bay. You know where it is? It's a block from my house. Oh my God. Come on. This is like, I didn't sit there, Krishna, you're playing with me. Only I have service Friday night here, so I'm here. So it's quite interesting. But anyway, just something else I wanted to share. So somebody else had their hand up. Yes,
Oh,
Prabhu.
just to finish.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And I'll pass
Yes,
the mic.
yes.
My suggestion, and of course the Friday night in Chula Vista is great, but since you're here anyway, what if you would organize the Friday night Bhagavad Gita class, maybe like a ladies' night? You could sort of, just a thought. And I'll pass
So thank you for the suggestion, and Bhakta Tyler Prabhu will take that up with the authorities, and we'll see what happens. Maybe.
We'd like to keep this enthusiasm going. That
Okay,
you've
as
really given
Krishna,
everybody
so
tonight.
as Krishna desires, so will happen. So we'll put it out there, and as Krishna desires, we'll see what he does. Okay. Thank you, Vaikuntha Prabhu, very much. Yes.
Hare Krishna, I'll be brief.
And your name, Prabhu, please.
Krishna Katha Das.
Krishna Katha Das.
just
Thank you, Krishna.
Das.
Das.
So, very nice dissertation, and your realization and example about the train, tram, bus, that was awesome. Okay. So, the process has distractions along the way. We're in the material world. And your example of seeing a sign and saying, oh, I would like to get off this train because I want to see this, and then you missed your initial destination. That's a brilliant example of what we're all experiencing in the material world, unless we're fully fixed and not being distracted. So I'd like to just ask you, in our process, the bullet train fast track is the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra,
Yes.
which is bhakti yoga in and of itself, like in its purest form.
Yes.
So when we're about to chant, which is coming up next, which is another ecstatic part of our Sunday festival, if you could explain for the edification of our newest devotees, including myself, because I'm always wanting to be reminded, because we know that we sometimes do too much thinking while we're chanting. So if we cannot stop thinking while we're chanting, what is your realization on what we should be thinking while we're chanting the Hare Krishna mantra?
Two things that I think of. And one is understanding what the Hare Krishna mantra, what we are singing for. And mainly it's, we are requesting Krishna and his divine energy, Radha, please engage me in your service.
Sure.
Please keep me connected. Please remind me who I am. So that's one thing. And also listen. So, a lot of times we just tend to chant. But, it's a call and response. When the leader is singing, we should be listening. Listen to the mantra. Let it penetrate. It is coming directly from the spiritual world. So let it penetrate into your heart. And that love pour forth from your mouth as you chant it. Again. Okay, so that is what I want to say. Yes.
2 questions left, and we'll be brief.
Okay, 2. Okay, yes, Prabhu, your question.
Firstly, I love the perspective you've brought, and I think it's
And
so
your name,
refreshing.
please. I'm sorry, your name?
I'm Rohit.
Rohit, thank you,
Yes.
Prabhu. Yes.
Love the perspective you've brought. It's just very refreshing from all the sannyasis and brahmacharis. So thank you. Love the example of the kids and the toys. My question for you is about surrender and the significance of that, and why it is such a powerful part of the path of bhakti. There's so many different processes, but ultimately Krishna concludes with surrender. Why is surrender so powerful, and why does it work so incredibly? What is your realization?
My realization is, I think it really proves that trust. It's a real, see, similar to the example I gave of the mature marriage, right? You surrender. I mean, when you're in a marriage for a long time, you surrender your ego, right? You're working. You're not thinking about yourself in that mature relationship. You know, it's us. Right? It's us in our relationship. It's not like I want to be right or I want to be the boss. It's nothing like that. That's what it is. When you're surrendering to Krishna, you're saying, it's you, you know. It's not about me, it's about you. And that's what pure love is. That's the difference between lust and love. Love means it's about Krishna. It's about you, Krishna. I want. And the thing is, Krishna's not thinking, it's about me, it's about me. He's not thinking that at all. He says, without my devotees, I'm nothing. You know, so he's not sitting up there thinking, yeah, throw it on me, I wanna. He's not like that at all. He's like, I'm nothing without my devotees. In the story of Ambarish and Ambarish Maharaj and Durvasa Muni, please read that in the Srimad Bhagavatam. He talks about that. He says, when Ambarish comes to him and says, you know, protect me, he said, I can't do anything, you got to go to my devotees. I'm nothing without my devotees. Krishna says that himself. So, you know, that's my little bit of adding. Yes. One more you said, Prabhu?
I think that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
You know, if they want to ask me off, you know, afterwards, that's fine. You know, that's okay. That's perfectly okay. I have no, afterwards, after the class.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to do it now because I know we're on a schedule here. So.
And also Friday night at the women's Bhagavad Gita class, they can ask you. Yeah.
One last verse I'd like to chant,
Okay.
please. Yadatra skalitam kinchit vidvamsa purayantu tat. Yadatra saushtavam kinchit tad gureva menahi. If there is anything that is lacking in my presentation, please understand that it's a fault of myself. It has nothing to do with the scripture. If there's any little bit that you found of any help to you, understand that comes simply from Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. It's nothing of my own. Thank you very much, and thank you very much for that. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.